Hi, I'm Al. This is a video. So, today we're starting my 40th Extreme Demon, and by today I mean I started a few days ago. I'm practicing it a little bit on and off. I've done some sick runs, but I wanted to do a little bit of an introductory video for the level because I know this is a level that a lot of people throw hate on. A lot of people are like, oh, this level is awful, this level is garbage, it's ass to play, so on and so forth. I'm here to do the same thing I did with Killbot and change public perception on this level. I think this level is absolutely amazing. I love it. It's weirdly fun. I know I don't really have the best opinion on that because I have a tendency to like weird gameplay, but I think this level is super duper fun. So it is none other than Dark Travel. No, it's actually Sunset Sandstorm by Crone44. It's top 50. It's number 50 on the demons list as of recording this video, and hopefully as of beating the level. It's ridiculously hard. As you can see, I have 35% on it, which is past the hardest part, by the way. I did pass the first cube, so I do have an opinion to say on that. So I wanted to hop into practice mode, go through it with you guys, explain the level a little tiny bit, and yeah, have a little bit of an introduction to it, and then at the end of the video, show you the 35% run. This is gonna be a long journey. Sunset Sandstorm is ridiculously difficult. It's brutal, to put it that way. It's a patience test. It's a mental test, basically. So yeah, let's hop into Sunset Sandstorm, give it a little practice run, and let's get the show on the road. I'm excited to start this. I've streamed it once, so this is it, to put it that way. So the beginning of Sunset Sandstorm is like infamous, right? You have this beginning right here, right? They're pretty easy. I feel like the beginning of this is like, it's much easier than it looks. You get consistent with those clicks. You get very consistent with them. You'll die to them occasionally, obviously, but they're much easier than they look. This bitch of a red orb, I do not like this red orb. This orb is incredibly hard. So essentially, you have to hit this pink orb and jump up early so that you can hit like the corner of this late. So you can hit the pink orb because the green dash orb is a mess and a half. Like that. You do this, because as you can see there, if you hit that a little bit late and you land on the corner, you will not detect the green orb, which is very annoying. I find the first 15% of this level to be objectively, no. The beginning of this level is arguably the hardest part of the level, the first like 15%. Once you pass 15% is not that bad. While it's still really difficult, it's not super bad by any means, but you get the point. Then you hit the blue orb and the yellow orb with spacebar and mouse simultaneously, or click really fast if you have the spam gene. Then you hit that blue orb, and then you get to this part. This part is funky. Light tap the green orb, so you fall. If you hold down the green orb, you will go through the roof. I don't know why that happens. You just kind of like stick to the block and you just die. But you light tap the green orb, and then you just consistency tap, basically. Then you hit those three orbs, which unironically, I find hitting those three blue orbs to be like one of the hardest parts of the level. Then you gotta hit this green orb late and stay high. You have to stay high in this line so you can hit this red orb high up. As you can see there, I didn't stay high enough, so I didn't get far enough. 11% is what a lot of people consider to be like the worst part, and here's why. So if I can just get back there, lol. As you can see, you literally have no vision, and you can very easily die to this part. If you see here, you can kind of like immediately jump. You kind of like click 1, 2, you hit the blue and green orb in quick succession. You land between these two spikes, hit the pink orb here, which is pretty much immediate. You don't really have to time that. What you have to time, though, is this click right here, which is incredibly hard. Oh, boy. Followed by this part right here, which is straight out of the nightmare that is Crone44's brain. So what you gotta do here is, if I speed hack this, so you guys can get like a kind of understanding of it. So essentially, after you hit this yellow orb, you jump from this platform as you continue to hold your button, and then you spacebar click this yellow orb as late as you possibly can. It is incredibly tough, and it is arguably, I would say that this is probably the hardest part of the entire level. I have not figured out a way to get 100% consistent with this yet. I find the later that I hit the yellow orb, the better. But it's still incredibly hard. Then you gotta drop down there, hit those, and then you just get to the easier part. Once you pass 15%, the level becomes a lot easier, and it is finally manageable. You're gonna be dying to the first 15% of this level a lot. This is just consistency remaining. I have heard a lot of people struggle with 16 a little bit. I don't really find it that bad personally. This orb, you gotta hit the green orb, and then inside is a red orb. So you have to hit the green orb early, then you hit the red orb and time that, which is really awkward in a way. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just a weird orb. I don't even know how it works, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like, I genuinely do not know how that green red orb combo works. It just kind of does. That part looks really intimidating, by the way. The red orb goes into green orb, goes into black orb, goes into dash orb, goes into black orb, goes into trigger orb. That looks really hard, but trust me, it is probably one of the easier parts of the level. Like, actually. It is incredibly satisfying, though. I love that part. It's probably my favorite part of the entire level, gameplay-wise. It's so fun. Dying there in normal mode, though, kind of sucks. Here, you want to dash orb, land on this line. The hitbox is surprisingly big. Then you're just going to double tap. So you jump from this, hit this, land, and then you're going to ba-bam. Jump, hit black orb. It's not as bad as it looks, if I'm being completely honest with you. I feel like this beginning gets a lot more hate than it really deserves. I think the beginning of this level is surprisingly good. The beginning of this level is surprisingly good. The only bad parts I can really point out of the very beginning is 11, 14. 11 and 14 are like the two bad parts in my opinion. The blind jump at 11 is absolutely really unforgiving, and 14 is just really hard. The blind jump at 22 is not that unforgiving. I say that, but I've died there 16 times, passed it twice. The one time I got 23, the other time I got 35. It's not as bad as it looks. I think the beginning gets a lot of hate. You do get consistent with it over time. As for the ship part, this ship part takes absolutely forever to get consistent with. You have to go up, hit the blue orb a little bit late. You have to hit it on the way down. So you can just click and hold so you go through this. You don't really have a lot of wiggle room in this part, which is the hardest part about it. Then you have to hit that yellow orb, hit that, hit the green orb. Stay consistent in the middle, go here. I know I just went through so much without really explaining anything, but that's kind of how this level works. So this part is very consistent. This part is ridiculously consistent. That is why there are so many people who fluke this from like 40 to like 90 something, right? Because once you pass, I would say once you get here, you have like a 90% chance once you get consistent with it to get to the drop. If you can pass the yellow orb in the ship part, you are almost 100% guaranteed to get really far. Oh, I almost failed. Like, as you can see, it's just all about, that one click. I don't know how to explain it, really. This UFO part is hard, but anyway. You want to just stay in the middle here. You want to hit that blue orb. Hit that yellow orb as early as you can, because this gap that you're supposed to hit after the yellow orb is very unforgiving. It is incredibly unforgiving, and as you hit the top of this, you have to keep hitting the bottom of it and release before anything, because if you hit the corner on the other side, you will hit the spike. I'm gonna try and demonstrate what I mean. Like that, right? So you have to hold it a little bit so that you can just fall through it. Like so. Hit green orb. Hit the green orb in here late, because otherwise the same thing will happen again. You're gonna bonk into the top of it, and you're gonna essentially just hit the spike, which is not what you want, obviously. You want to live, you don't want to die. This is all just counting. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you stay in the middle here. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then just stay in the middle there. You learn that pattern. It's much harder than it looks. I would argue that that wave part is probably tied as the easiest part, other than the UFO. The UFO is also incredibly easy. I can't actually explain this dash orb. It makes no sense. It's just kind of like one of those clicks that work. You just gotta have to roll with it. Okay, so this staircase here is something a lot of people do differently. I jump over this. I just do one jump, land on the block here, and then just hold the entire way through. Hold, then straight fly, hit these. Straight fly, wiggle, light tap. These two orbs are light taps. They are micro clicks, and they are going to murder you a lot. that part right there with the cube that you just saw is arguably, in my opinion, the hardest part of the drop. Why these are so hard is because you have to hit late, kinda early, and then just hold, and they are very unforgiving. And we have this spam part, which is my favorite part, obviously, because I click the fastest in the entire world. So a lot of people consider this level to be over once you pass like 75 or get into the ball part. So like once you are out of this like UFO segment right here, once you get here, a lot of people consider this level to be done. You go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, hit the green orbs. Those black orbs are double taps, so you click 1, 2, 1, 2 with spacebar and mouse at the same time, so that you go down with your mouse, hit the black orb with the spacebar, and you go do that twice. And then you get to this part. This part is weird, to put it that way. I don't know how you do this part, like, super well, but there's just something about this part that's just, like, really tricky for some reason. Then for this click always gets a lot of weird looks. You click spacebar and mouse at the same time on this one. You just click and hold it, and you just stick to the ground for some reason. Why it works, no one fucking knows. Absolutely nobody knows. It's just kind of like a gimmick that works. The reason why this part is much harder than it looks is because of the upwards movement of the blocks, making the spaces much smaller than they really are, and it's a mess, to put it that way. I'm embarrassing myself in front of the children and my viewers, obviously. Then the ending is very, very easy. Overall, though, this level is absolutely fantastic. I love this level. It has a super fun drop. It has a super fun... I don't know. There's just something about this gameplay that I really enjoy. I can't really put my finger on why I love it as much as I do. That is such a dumb death, but I'm happy I got to the thing. But I do think that Sunset Sandstorm by Crone is like one of the absolute most beautiful levels out there. I think it's a thematic masterpiece, basically. Gameplay-wise, I understand why some people don't like it, the first 32 being incredibly tedious and the first 15% being basically impossible. Gives it a lot of reason for a lot of people to not really like it, but I personally do really enjoy this level, and I hope you guys like it as well. So come over on Twitch if you want to watch me play through this and hopefully beat this pretty soon. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. You guys know the drill by now. Thank you for an awesome February. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys later. Eat your greens, stay healthy. Thank you for making my day better, and I hope I made yours a little bit better too. Take care, everyone.